Hi everybody, Al Bernstein here with another preview of a major fight. And this one we'll talk about is the April 18th return to the ring of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who comes back after almost a year layoff to take on a very tough opponent in a weight division that is new to him. He'll be taking on Andrzej Fonfara, who is a top light heavyweight contender. And part of what makes this match fascinating is that Chavez Jr. expects to go back down to 168, and that's where he really wants to campaign and look for title shots and big fights. And yet, on his return after this year layoff, I guess didn't feel he could make the 168-pound limit, so he's fighting at 175 pounds. Now, the man he's facing, Andrzej Fonfara, has had good success and recently took Adonis Stevenson all the way in their match, lost the decision to Stevenson, but in the course of that fight, had Stevenson down and in trouble. And Fonfara, after taking a real pasting early in that fight, was able to come back and looked for some moments like he was going to win by stoppage against Adonis Stevenson. Fonfara is a very solid fighter from Poland, living in Chicago now, who has worked his way up the ranks in the light heavyweight division and is a very, very solid fighter. As for Chavez Jr., that year layoff was fueled by promotional issues and management issues. He left Top Rank Boxing, signed on with Al Heyman's group, and in the process of all those machinations had to sit out for quite a while. And now here he is back with a new trainer as well. Joe Goosen has moved into the training seat with him. Joe and he have worked now getting ready for this fight, and from my reports of everything that's happened in the gym, it seems like it's a good collaboration. Of course, much of the onus in this case is on Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who in the past, I don't think it's a big shock or a greatly opinionated thing to say, has had his issues with the training in terms of diligence and doing the work necessary. There's no question about Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.'s offensive abilities. He is one of the most interesting and entertaining offensive fighters in the sport of boxing. And when he's in the ring fighting, he makes for exciting fights. And I believe his fight with Fonfara is going to be just that. Probably early on in the fight, I could see Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. doing what Stevenson did to Fonfara, landing a lot of punches and getting off very well with his offense. The question will be, how does Fonfara come back from that early onslaught? If he can do some of what he did against Stevenson and come back, it'll make it a very intriguing fight. So that one is April 18th at the StubHub Center in California. I'll be announcing that one on Showtime in the United States, and I think it's going to be very interesting, and all of the eyes of the boxing world will be centered on Southern California to see just how well Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. can come back from his layoff.